Hey folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D Show. Tough guy, ho!
Welcome back. Thank you once again for hanging out with us. This is the one and only IT in the D Show. I'm your host, Bob Waltenspiel, hanging out with producer, co-host extraordinaire, Randy Walker. Guest this week is, you're in everything. I'm sorry. Like usually like we can boil this down to like he's you're in everything. I know him. I used to know him as an engineer, then as an architect, now as a technologist, soon to be a founder or is a founder. Adam Youngblood is in the house. He wants to nerd out on some stuff. So I'm going to see how far I can take this thing. I'm not going to hurt myself though, I promise. But you can find us online at itandthed.com. Do us a favor, give us a like on the socials, subscribe to us everywhere. Fine podcasts are sold.
Our next meetups are Wednesday, June 3rd at Holmes, and then Thursday, June 18th here at the Detroit Shipping Company. Both of those start at 5, go until around 8-ish or so. And don't bring your resumes.
No cover.
No covers.
Speakers.
No speakers. Don't bring your resumes. Don't bring your business cards. Just talk and connect on LinkedIn. Learn how to scan and show your QR code on LinkedIn.
Yes, that's a new thing. That's not a new thing.
Not a new thing. It's
QR codes are back. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I guess they are. And Randy, you have to show me where they're at. I heard you're the wizard to find the LinkedIn QR code.
No, I will do it live. We'll do it right now. If you go to LinkedIn, okay. I'm looking for on the top, there is a little square on the right.
Oh, it's like Venmo.
And you hit this little square, and then your QR code pops, and you take a screenshot of it, so you don't have to go through that whole. There's a button, save to gallery, and then you use that as Randy uses it as wallpaper when he goes to events. There it is.
Okay.
Right.
I said it, so it just pops up when I triple tap my phone.
Nice.
I don't know if I do that, I'll break it. It's funny. You walk in the studio and you're like, you say that you're not supposed to be every show be about AI, but yet here we are. Yeah. And then, we had went and had lunch and all we talked about was AI, and here we are. And then you said, you can't talk about agentic anymore, but I'm like, but here we are. I just think I'm just diving in. There's no more banning. I think we're just in.
It's pervasive. It's everywhere. Not that I want it to be, but I think it's the right place to be. Like, just some of your past guests have said it. Be a part of it. Like, you're either going to do it or you're going to get left behind. I've used this term before. Everyone's familiar with Star Trek, right? The USS Enterprise, right? It's the Enterprise.
Yeah. One of them.
Yeah, like the main one from Luke Picard, right? Yeah. And at the start of it, that intro, right?
You can correct him, Randy. John Luke.
Yeah.
Picard.
I'm not a huge Star Trek, but like at the
He
start,
is.
well, at the start, right? The USS Enterprise goes light speed, so you see like the white.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're at the start of that, and with AI, and my opinion, with AI and agentic AI, and just what will come from that. And the problem is the people watching, right? So everyone just imagine that. Like, oh yeah, you're watching it, right? You're sitting in your chair, you're watching it. Everyone that's on the USS Enterprise are the people and the enterprises that have capitalized on how to use AI. And they're gone. Like, and you can't catch them, right? There is no, I'm gonna get on that train too.
Right.
No, they're gone. And so anyways, it's everywhere. Like,
so let's start with this. I right before the show, I was downstairs. I was talking to the owner of the shipping company, and he owns a soccer field here and a bar over there, and he's got a food hall in Lansing, and he's buying another place down there. And he goes, I can't keep up. And I go, jump into AI. And he goes, I use it for my meetings, and it gives me 5 to-dos, and I need that done because that's my problem. So let's say we're getting down to like, a restaurant owner or could be a house mom or a mom or dad. You know what I mean? Just like someone that just goes, where the hell do I start? 'Cause, the early days of it were like everyone's using it as super Google. I think we've moved past it a little bit.
agreed.
Like, we killed a wasp in the backyard, and my wife says, find out what kind of wasp this is so we can buy the bug spray for it. So I take a picture, I put it in the cloud, and I say what kind it is, and I find out it's a cicada killer, and it doesn't harm humans.
A massive one, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, just leave them be.
That's cool, right? That was
right.
Kind of, and you can ask like, what does that thing eat? Obviously, cicadas. Like, what else does it do? Where does it net? Like, you can ask questions, but there's at the end of the day, like to a business owner, even to like what is really the difference between using Super Google and Google? Really not much.
I was going to say, for my use cases, I use AI when I don't know where to start. I use a regular search engine when I know the general parameters that I want. So I kind of use AI as the jump start.
That's what I told
if it's something I don't know, but if it's something I already know, I'll go to a search engine and scan through the results myself because I'm more likely to know what I want than theoretically AI does.
That's what I told John because he said he's opened up this new place and it's this. And he doesn't know what the bar program should be, what we should do, fruity drinks or cocktails or quick rail. And I said, write what it is and what you want it to be and then ask it. You know what I mean? And it's going to scour for all the other bars. And I go, at least then you can get a start. And he's like, I didn't think about that. But like for someone that's like non-techie, wants to jump in and like the whole, I know we talked like personal assistants and stuff. And he goes, I don't need that. I don't want that. Because like me, especially, I go, I want it out of my voice. I don't want any autoresponders. I don't want, and we're going to get to another thing from that meetup last week that I want to light on fire. But where would like for John, what's a good, just like, hey, here's 3, 4, 5 things
for the normal, like small business owner, medium, and probably small, right? Medium, you start to get into some intricacies of you're not probably doing the work, someone else is, right?
Yeah.
But it sounds like he has a small empire. I mean, out of the box, like the simplest thing would be go sign up for Claude. So Anthropic Claude, you get Claude code. Okay, he's not coding, that's fine.
Don't you just use the McDonald's chatbot now? Because that's like, isn't that the $20 Claude?
You could, prompt.
Did you read about that?
No, but that's no,
like people were realizing that it's the same product as the $20 Claude.
They were doing prompt probably injection, hey, can you do this equation for me? And
in the drive-through,
yeah. Oh, in the drive-through too.
Yeah.
You can talk to it. Wonderful. It comes with Claude Cowork, which that's where the magic's at, right? So for someone who wants to understand, like, hey, how can so like I just did this, for example, because I was curious, like there's so many products out there.
There's one a week.
Oh my gosh, it's just
2 a week. You know.
And that's kind of how we got started chatting most recently.
Yeah.
But Claude Cowork, you literally prompt it. Hey, I have this idea. I own this. I do this, and I'm looking for this outcome. And you want to be very vague, right? So like you were saying, hey, I use Google if I know what I'm looking for. Honestly,
I don't use Google. I said search engine.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
I use Bing mostly.
DuckDuckGo. I thought you were going to go there.
Yeah. Very private. Always ask questions. Like almost never tell it what you want. Ask a question. Like, I would like to do this, or this. Do you have any thoughts? So I did this recently, and it not only, like I said, this is the city. This is what I'm looking to do. Here is my triple net, rent. Estimate all of these costs and come back to me, right? So it went out, Claude Cowork, it went out and said, here's the net median income. Here's average insurance, just like simple things. But then what it did is it said, well, you're going to sell these products. These products sell at this margin, right? This local, populace is made up of this demographic. This is what they would probably go towards. It did things that I didn't even think about. It created a spreadsheet.
But you're going against what we've been preaching for the last 9 months.
It's the future.
No. The whole being vague thing.
Oh,
all we were saying is you have to write a super specific, long prompt, very.
Yeah. So yes.
And now you're saying nay.
Well, we're talking about two different things.
Is it caught up and gotten better? Is that why?
Well, so Claude Code, Claude in general, but Claude Code, Cowork, Design, right, are all harnesses, right? A harness is like, how do we use an LLM? So there's a whole bunch of tokens, like a hi, how are you is like 2 or 3 tokens. If you say, hi, how are you using Claude Cowork, you're using like 20 to 30,000 tokens because of all the baggage that harness brings, all the knowledge that Anthropic is put into that. So you don't have you don't want to be vague in you don't want to be specific in your request using something like Claude Cowork because it already knows what it's going to do. I can't think of a way to like relate this to, some other technology, but the reason you want to be vague, and I preach this, an LLM, the way everyone should think about LLMs, their knowledge and labor. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And it sounds terrible. When I say labor, it's knowledge and labor. And labor in the sense of like, I can go create a full Excel spreadsheet. It can go create that spreadsheet for me. All the formatting, the formulas, everything's in there in 2 minutes. I couldn't even open Excel and like color the, like try to figure out how to make one cell gray and the next cell white, right?
I'm with 20, and then it's already 2 minutes.
It's too, I'm like, I don't even know what's going on.
So it feels like, though, that there's still no clear onboarding for the everyday user, because even your example is you go to Claude Cork and say these types of things, but everyday people don't even know how or why they would use AI. Getting into the talk of tokens is like miles over their head.
Yeah.
So I feel like the first time you open the app, it says, hey, I'm AI. Here are a few things I can do. How can I help you? Or what are some problems that you think I might be, or that you want help with? Or what are some things you don't know where to get started with? Like, there is no general onboarding, because I feel like at this point, everybody is always advice or instruction is to use AI, but there is no
Agreed.
Use it this way for your specific need, or use it this way. So there's no concierge or introductory service in the apps, or even people telling them how to use it. Or like if your company says, start using AI in your work, there's no, okay, how?
So like my day job is exactly what you just said. I need to go enable my customers to utilize innovative technologies. And you're spot on. Like, I have learned so much using it every single day. One, it's changed drastically over the last 2 years or year and a half, really. It's been out since June of 22, right? That's when I think ChatGPT 3 or 2.5, whatever came out.
2.5 years, yeah.
Yeah, it's 2022. We're going on almost 4, right? It's
what am I thinking?
Math's hard.
It is.
Yeah, but
COVID ruined it all. Everybody's
it did, yeah. But within the last 2 years is where we've seen like advanced LLMs, and it's how you use them. And I agree. There's no like guidebook of, one, this is how you're going to access it, and two, this is how you use it, because they change so rapidly.
And I feel like the apps could help with that. Instead of just providing you a white text box, like give some sample prompts, or ask a question first or something, other than just start typing in a box.
Yeah. I mean, you get into like privacy then, right? I agree. There's major privacy concerns. Like, and you've talked about this before, like you're going to put all your information in there. So like, I just put all my business information, not all of it, but it can do a lot of assumptions. And the danger is that today I talk about business 1, and in 6 months I talk about business 2. And then in 12 months I talk about some family. And it's like, oh yeah, that would actually work really well with some ideas you had around business 1. And you're like, what? Oh, yikes.
It made a correlation with me, and I didn't expect it to.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't hate it, but I'm like,
it kind of, so
like, you remembered. It's like all of a sudden you're like, you remember that conversation we had at the bar 3 years ago? Like,
exactly. It's like a bad ex-girlfriend, or like,
right.
Oh, yikes. No. But yeah, to your point, like I agree. There's a lot of it enablement. I think it's just how things are going to grow. And it's kind of like, Bob and I were talking, and I said, hey, Bob, I got this, and I was pumping it on LinkedIn. It was like the new hotness at the time, right? So OpenClaw came out, and just for people that don't know what it is, right? It's essentially it's like a personal assistant, an agentic personal assistant. Now it can be anything. It can be your coding assistant. It can be your, go read my emails and respond to them, create meeting invites, right? It can do so much more. It can receive calls. It can, look at your bank records. It can buy things. It's fully agentic.
So here's where I got a problem, and I was holding on to this because I needed to light it on fire in some way.
What was the problem that he said agentic?
No. Just when he's talking about this whole personal assistant, answer phone calls, it's a good time to bring this up. Had a kid show up at the IT and the D event last Thursday. He's got a master's degree in computer science from Lawrence Tech.
Nice. Great school.
Correct. He gets a interview, first round, with a prominent company that everybody knows the name of. It's an AI bot.
Oh, yeah.
And I just said,
yeah,
that needs to stop. Like, what you're telling me is like, and I just we sat and had this conversation. I said, yeah, the AI bot should be used to filter through your resume and to find out if you fit the criteria that they're looking for. But for a first screen, now are they looking for lying? Like, are they looking for nuance? Like, how are they answering? Is it just raw answers, raw transcript? Now I'm like, what are they getting into? And I said, right now I want to light the whole thing on fire. Yeah. And I'm like, I usually don't get mad anymore about technology, but like that's
painful.
That one got me.
Yeah, like I'm a huge proponent, and like I say proponent, but this is like the first advent of AI where your local HVAC shops.
Yeah.
You'd call, and first it was just like, oh, thanks for calling, Bob's Mechanical. As a person, right?
Yeah.
How can I help you? And then that turned into like a really bad call recording service, right? And over the last year, those have completely changed into agentic, like a late person says, thanks for calling Bob's Mechanical. How can I help you?
Yeah.
You say, oh, yeah, I need to schedule an appointment. Great. We have some appointments, and it's those are there's a lot of VC money and stuff.
I should have kept track because I've had to call 18 contractors over the last 2 weeks to fix stuff at a house.
Okay.
When the inspector came back.
Any AI?
1 out of 10.
Oh, okay. That's less than I would think.
One of them was it was a guy and his kid. I actually got the automated text going, oh, he'll be there in an hour.
No, exactly. So
that
like
was fantastic.
It's both sides.
I got other ones where it was automated meeting, like, hey, pick a time on my calendar. I got 2 no-shows from that. Like everyone was using it. No one was using it properly. Is what I'm saying.
It's so new. It's not only is the technology new, but the way it's being implemented across, could be like a call center, right? Someone, hey, how can I help you?
Yeah.
All the way through building an application. It's all new. The harnesses, the tools, the companies that are popping up left and right. It's all new. And I think I've heard of this. The AI, I think it was on X. I was clicking through one day and I heard of what you stated, and that's painful. And I guess I'm not a huge proponent of that, but going back to the idea of knowledge and labor.
Yeah.
If I can utilize that LLM, right, to Randy's, maybe question of like, hey, how do I use it? The best way is ask it that question. How can I utilize you? Like you have to volunteer some information. This is what I want to do.
I don't want to say that's profound, but you don't
think about it.
I would never think like that to do that.
So the big jump. So
because I want something, I don't know how to best use, like go to McDonald's and say, what do I order? How do I best,
use this system?
It's not natural for how we normally act.
No, exactly. So this was the big jump from like from a Claude, right? From like Claude Cowork or just Claude or ChatGPT into OpenClaw, which is why OpenClaw, and again, I said it back then, I've some posts, like it is the first and not the last. And it definitely is not the last. There's been Hermes, Google just released, not Vertex, Spark, and Amazon just released Amazon Quick. So they're all very similar to OpenClaw. And the difference with OpenClaw is you give it, they call them core files, right? So there's like the core, there's 5 for, at least for OpenClaw. Quick is a managed service. Who knows what they're doing in the back end, but you give it a idea of who you are as a person, right? I'm Adam Youngblood. I do this, and this. Yeah. I have, if you want to, I have, a couple kids. I live in this general area. This is what I'm looking to achieve over the next year with you, right? So you give it an idea of who you are. Then you give an idea of who it is. Or is it a COO? Maybe it's for a mom that has 5 kids and is chasing down soccer schedules, and you're a home manager, right? Now, using that analogy, think about that. Like if you hire a home manager, let's say you're paying them, I'll just throw in $50K, whatever. Just they're there 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day, managing your home, making sure you have groceries, making sure your kids are making it. If you hire them and you sit them at a table, you hired them, right? You're paying them. Don't you have to walk them around the house, introduce them to your kids? So this is the difference between like an LLM, a chatbot. The home manager's just sitting there going, okay, now what? Tell me what to do. Ask me a question.
So I think we assume that it should know.
So the jump into this new generational personal assistant is now you give it all of that up front. So you give it that personality. And
what are we looking at for like a time in like investment? Because like to train someone as a house manager, that's 2 weeks.
Weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe a month, right?
Yeah.
So this is where it gets super messy. So I started using OpenClaw. I'm like, this is going to change the world. But just to give you rough numbers, about 300,000 people started as of, I think it's like 320 now, started on GitHub. Means like they liked it. So let's say it's an order of magnitude more than that have played with it. So 3 million. Well, there's 7.6 billion people on the earth, whatever, 7 point something. Yeah. Why is it not 30 million or 300 million or 3 billion people? Because it's the tech hurdle to launch OpenClaw is silly. You just asked a great question. How do you even train it?
Yeah.
Well, you have to go into the Markdown file and edit it, or you can actually chat with like the vanilla bot and say, I want to train you, but how do you even fill that file out? There's different formats.
I'm looking at like what I go.
I was gonna say, going back to like the mom managing kids' schedules and stuff. How are you getting the schedules into the AI?
Email. So typically like email, right? So you give it access to your email, and a lot of people,
assuming you have it there and not written in your planner or
so you'd give it access to whatever you have. Now, what's nice,
digitally. But the analog conversion is a huge hurdle.
I take pictures. So like I'll get my kids' preschool schedule. It's the calendar, right? It's just a normal calendar, has everything. I take a picture of that. I send it to the LLM. I say, can you ingest this into my calendar? Boop, boop, boop. It's not perfect. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but if I can spend 15 or 20 minutes making sure it is perfect, it's in there correctly, not perfect, but it's in correctly. And when I'm here or I'm traveling for work and I'm like, oh shoot, what was my daughter supposed to be doing today? It's here. I just sent a quick picture and it's on.
Adam, I just look at like me and Randy managing the studio, and we have Square appointments. We have Google Calendar. We go back and forth. We have our proper email. Then we have our personal Gmail.
Yep.
And we to this day, we haven't found a proper way to like manage. And this is going back years that, even looking at the AI tools, and I played with a few, it's, again, in what would you even train it? We have a Google Voice number.
Yeah.
Right.
You have a lot. And even then, like, we could really split
and this
hairs
is
here,
just,
and I'm not looking, but like you could say, well, I don't want to give it access to my personal email. Like, and that's a valid concern. Just create another email box. And I know you're like, oh my gosh, another one. You just CC that agent email on emails that are pertinent, right? Or you'd forward it. So like if we were chatting, you would just forward our chain and the agent would know like, oh yeah, this is from Bob. And I don't know who Adam is, but what I'm going to do is add it to our CRM. You can just say, hey, create me a CRM, customer relationship manager, and tag who this person is and the relationship. And as emails come in, it can create that CRM dynamically, all through natural language. So you could literally say, hey, I need a CRM. It knows what it is. So again, think of that. It's using an LLM, knowledge and power. So you have multiple PhD level people behind you as that LLM, and it can go create a basic CRM. It's a database.
Where is it creating the CRM? Is it
wherever you have? So in this case with OpenClaw, you're hosting it. So it's on AWS or it's on like your own personal computer at home, right? On a container. Again, this is where it gets super techie. So where it's going is, and that's where like it's not really a product. It's more or less an experiment that I launched. I thought Facebook's going to be doing this. Google, Amazon, Apple, they all want this. They're all building it. I know they are. I said this 3-4 months ago. I said it on X. I said it on a couple of blog posts. Google launched one. Amazon launched one. They're coming. They're like Apple. I know it's, there's rumors that they're going to launch one here shortly because that is the future. And to your point, Randy, it's how can you make it easily accessible? Right now, it is not easily accessible. It's tech heads, right? Even for people like me, it's really annoying because you have thousands of people committing to the GitHub repo, adding code, just like people like you and me. And it breaks stuff all the time. And it's a huge problem right now. So once you have these enterprises that can standardize a solution and offer it to someone, like a big, Fortune 500 company, such as Amazon or Google, or the many others, but those are the two out right now, it will become easier to use and more mainstream. And it's a matter of time before something like that ends up on your phone. Like I didn't ask for Gemini to be on. I have a Pixel. I didn't ask for Gemini to pop up here, right? And like I do use Google search, and every time I use Google search, you at the top you get the AI summary, and then deep dive or dive in or whatever it says, right? So you can quickly jump to that. So it's coming. I think for it not to be scary, everyone's slow rolling it, taking it.
But even if you look at like, we talked about like the house manager and we talked about like the studio manager. I'm looking like this weekend I spent time with my cousins. One owns, a couple $1 million company. The other one runs $100 million company, and the other one, and they're like all foreign to them. We talk tech for like a minute minute, and but like I'm just looking at like even like my cousin's shop. It's automotive tool and die, prototype.
Yeah,
been around forever.
That's a gold mine for AI.
But I was like, what do you, because I even asked him, because he runs the whole company. I'm like, what are you doing with AI? And he's like, there's like one old guy that's been here since the 60s that does our tech. And I go, oh man, But I mean, again, what's the answer to something like when you say gold mine? Like what?
Gold mine. I mean, so Jeff Bezos, right? So I'm not worth a lot of money. I'm okay, but like I'm not someone that's like, oh, AI's, it's gonna take over the world, and I can't wait. Like it's scary. That's the first thing I always say. But I'm a huge proponent of it, and when I talk to people about it, I don't want it to come off as he wants people to lose their jobs. No, I don't want to. I just want people to be prepared. I want them to prepare themselves because it is coming or it's here. So Jeff Bezos, anyway. So Jeff Bezos just I don't know, inserted his foot into his mouth. Maybe not. You tell me. But he said he was interviewed, I think Squawk Box or one of the other big shows, and he said, "Hey, AI. It's like I'm paraphrasing. It's like a revolution, but we're going to give the guy digging a basement with a shovel, we're not going to replace him. We're going to give him a bulldozer." So you think about that, and it's true.
Yeah.
But it took that one guy a year to dig the one basement, and you have 100 homes. So I need 100 guys all digging with that shovel.
Right.
Well, now I have one guy digging all 100 homes in like 5 days versus the year.
Right.
So what he's saying is it's not true. Someone had to build the bulldozer. So like the shovel is cheap, it's a cheaper tool. Someone actually had to build that bulldozer. So that's jobs. And someone has to maintain the bulldozer. There's jobs there. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like those people that only knew how to dig the basement with a shovel are out of a job. Mm-hmm. So anyways, going back to what you said about your friend, the tool and die, gold mine, anything from just like simple optimizations, monitoring. This is when we get into kind of two camps, right? So you have like the agentic development. Randy, I heard you last week. You said, "Hey, I had to download this thing and buy this WordPress plugin." Like I cringed a little. Like you can literally just say, "Hey, like I need this, and this. Create me a WordPress plugin today," and it'll do it in like
I've done
5 minutes.
Simpler.
Yeah,
something as complex as that, I don't think I would trust. I wouldn't know how to review the code well enough to trust it.
So this is the challenge. So like it's who can do this for me, and WordPress isn't going away. Like I run a business on WordPress, hundreds of sites. Like I love it. But I used to buy plugins just a couple of years ago. And now it's like, hey, I need this, and this. And I spend, a week, 2-3 days, whatever, to build it. It's talking to those people. Hey, so 2 questions, right? One, where are you bleeding money? Every business is bleeding money.
Yeah.
Every business. And then 2, if you could build something today to increase your revenue, what would it be? Every business owner, top of mind, those 2. I'm not going to say I guarantee it, but 99% of those business owners will be like, I need help. I'm bleeding money here.
Yeah.
People are calling at 9 p.m. They don't answer. I call them back in the morning and they've already scheduled an appointment with someone else. That's just one example. And then where I need to build something to increase my revenue, they don't know who to go to, right? The last 20 minutes of our conversation are like, it's super techie. How do you even do this stuff? So you have to find someone who can help you build that. And what's amazing, I just a week ago delivered a solution. It's a camera-based, visual inspection system. Mm-hmm. It took me like 6 hours to fully develop end to end. I went there, delivered it, did a couple more updates. They said, "Yep, we need this, and this." Yep, I added that. Like within 6 hours, they had a fully productionized. It logs. Someone logs in, so you can know there's some forensics. It does everything. Like in the past, that would have taken 2 weeks,
6
minimum.
months, machine learning.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. Yes. So I'm using an LLM. So yes, data scientists, a team of 6, 10, 12 people. I mean, it's like a $5 million investment.
Yeah.
Today it's like 15 grand.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's just, and so your tool and die guy's like, hey, I have quality issues. Like, how can I do this? Well, you invest in like some cameras like this, some lighting, a couple rigs, a couple cameras, a small mini PC, and you have internet, right? And it's 5 cents a call. Is that worth making sure that quality is going out the door?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's 2 ends. And then unfortunately it's things like the calls that we just talked about. Like once you start answering that call at 9 p.m., do you need Tom or Sally to answer the call at 8 a.m.?
Right.
Like, so it's a tough question. So just to kind of wrap up that thought, maybe I was driving down 94. Some family live out towards like Macomb, and I'm coming south on 94, and I see a big billboard, and it says it's a picture of some various men. It was very typecasted. There's various men in like blues, like in not army blues, but like work blues.
Yeah.
So like HVAC, electrical, and it said AI proof yourself. I'm like, wait, so hold on. Which is it? Is it we're not laying off all these people because of some other reason? It's not AI.
Was it a plumbing school ad or something?
Yeah, it was like, well, it was just trades.
Trades
It was like a local union, but it was AI proof yourself.
Wow.
I'm like, what camp is it? Is it our jobs being replaced or not? Like people can't, like the fear is there, right? But every CEO is going to be like, oh, we're not replaced. We laid off 8,000 people, even though we just made $48 billion. Like, don't you want to invest some of that money like you used to in the previous decades? You make a big profit, you take that, you hire a bunch of people. No, we're actually doing the opposite. We're letting go of people and still investing in new products. Just not using AI. Wink, wink. I know the radio can't hear that, but like, of course they're. That's again my opinion, because I use AI every day and I've seen how quickly I can just pump a product out end to end. Versus like we just talked about, it was 6 months and a team of 20 people.
Right.
Now it's me.
See, that's the thing. Look, the old joke with this show is I'm in the Venn diagram of my firefighter friends think I'm Wozniak. My tech friends think I'm, Patrick from SpongeBob.
Yes.
And there's no, I'm just right. There's no in between.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. I'm looking at this as like, Randy's a technologist. You're, an architect. Like, I'm supposed to be a technologist, but I'm a sales guy.
You get it though. Like you understand the problem.
But I can't sit and code a imaging.
You can today.
I'm not vibe coding anything. I'm not doing it. I'm not calling it vibe coding.
So that definitely, like, there was a short term of a negative connotation to the term vibe code,
because
it's
there's
the future.
LinkedIn bros putting I vibe coded.
Yeah.
Like, wait, you just typed in a prompt. Like don't make it out to be more important than it is.
It's whatever you want to call it. It is the future. It's just how do you harness it? You mentioned real quick. You mentioned Microsoft. There was I forget who. It's like a VP of software and AI or something on LinkedIn. He's like, I recently heard a conversation at the office, and this, maybe it was one of his customers. I can't wait to use AI to drive revenue and replace some of my employees. And our team doesn't take that approach. We take a more mature approach. I screenshotted it. I'm like, I can't wait for Microsoft, even like this guy, to get laid off. But like, I don't want to say it that way. I don't want anyone to get laid off. But like the fact that someone would be like, well, we're more mature than looking at AI, it's going to replace people. Like, that is what it's doing. It's making everyone more efficient. At the end of the day, it's making knowledge and labor to drive an outcome. And if the current outcome expires, well, what do we do with these people? Meaning, like, if you can do 100 things in the time you used to take to do 10 things,
right,
you don't need all those same people. Like, you've accelerated, you're more efficient.
Did you hear what the Pope said about AI this weekend?
I listened to NPR and they briefly talked about it, but it's like going to ruin the world. He wants everyone to pump the brakes.
He didn't pump the No. He kind of said what I say, which I kind of thought, because he must listen to the show. That's why he kind of threw out the flag. No, he just said there needs to be ethics and standards, and there needs to be guardrails, and there needs to be RoboCop rules, which is what I've been saying since this thing started.
Yes.
The RoboCop, that was the first day, I think the first time we ever started this, was it needs to have RoboCop rules. Because it needs to,
There's so many aspects to that, right? There's, like, we talk about data privacy, but like, how about just the data centers?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so talk to me. I remember when that first started in the first protest, and I remember it going on social media and going, we don't want this data center. We're protesting. And I said, and I grew up in a data center. My first job in 96 was in a data center.
Yeah.
And it's a nondescript building on the side of the road.
Yep.
And I was like, there's 56 data centers in Michigan.
They're everywhere.
You
would know it.
You would know it. There's the telco buildings. I don't even think those are considered data centers. Those are everywhere.
Every city has one.
Correct. Yeah. Like a post office.
Yeah.
And the funniest conversation I had was with one of my best friends, his 92-year-old mother. she loves talking about like the old world, what's going on now. And she started talking about how EVs are like riding in a microwave. And she's like, what's this thing with the data centers? And she goes, it's going to make everyone sick. And I'm like, oh my God, who are you talking to? And it just like this stuff that's in the air. But now I'm looking at it and like Microsoft pledged water neutrality because I know that was a big issue. I know China's building them at the bottom of the ocean. And like this whole, like there's so much, I don't even know what the real information is. And you have some of them that like, I don't want it there. Now they're humming because there's like they're massive compute centers. And now I'm starting to teeter from, oh, it was all bullshit, in the first time they're protesting. And now I'm going, okay, wait, what, you're building this in Chesterfield, you're building this in Wixom, like, but then again, there's one in 11 and Gloucester for crying out loud. That's the one I worked at first.
Yeah.
What is like, not that you're the oracle or what's going on, but like, what truth is it to it? Because like the whole water thing, like there's a town that said they lost all their water pressure.
Yeah.
And
it's like the new version of Nestle.
Yeah, up in northern Michigan.
Pumping groundwater.
Jesse the Body broke that. Did you ever watch that show?
No.
It was a conspiracy theory show. Sorry for side railing. And Jesse the Body hosted it post governor,
of Minnesota or Wisconsin.
Yeah. And he said Nestle, they called it like a conservatory, and they built, it's all fenced off. You can't go in. And he goes, and right now Nestle's pumping zillions of water, and they're paying
nothing.
They're paying hose water pricing.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. I mean, nothing. They're paying a permit fee per year.
Hose water pricing.
Yeah.
And they're bottling it all and shipping it back, selling it back to us. And he tried to get in the fence, and it was guarded. But the word was like, I think it was conservatory. It was something like, oh, that
was a ploy.
nice. It was like, yeah, like when it's a nature preserve, like that type of and someone got sold, hey, we're going to bring 300 jobs to Michigan, and we're a big
for a year, and then fire everybody. Yeah.
But like, that was a great episode. Anyway, if it's on YouTube, I'll find it. I'll send it to you. But like
you should, but yeah, I mean, I don't have all the answers, but I grew up in data centers.
Yeah.
And there was, the idea of like a hot aisle, right? And you would go in there and it was warm. But it wasn't anything that was out of this. But water wasn't crazy.
Water cooling wasn't a thing. Like they had, if you bought the doors with water cooling, you were rich.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. No, exactly.
The racks did not. It was all air. Yeah.
It was all air. So you had big air handlers, right? And those air handlers would move water out to just an AC, but it was a closed loop system. Yeah. And it was they're expensive, right? They're expensive to run.
Super expensive.
At scale, they're expensive to run.
Yeah.
So, I don't have the answers, but the newer style is like, well, why don't we just take the water and send it through a open loop system or partially open loop, and the heat that is coming off of these. I mean, get on X, like follow some of these people that work for OpenAI, work for Anthropic, work for XAI. When they have an outage, which just go on Claude status or like they're all the time. Look at the outage data and get on X, and literally like we melted a rack or we melted an aisle. I forget the name of the model. ChatGPT released the model. It created like these Japanese style anime, and someone figured out how to do a prompt. Like it melted like one of OpenAI's data centers. Like within 12 hours, everyone was on there just hammering it. It's putting out like billions of BTU, like an exponential amount more than what Switch is doing, or or any of the big autos with their data centers.
Right.
They're just they're not even really used. This from your they're used at like 30 or 40% capacity. These are used. Yeah, these are state of the art chips that are used at 110% of capacity, 24/7, 365, and they just pump out massive amounts of heat. So how do you cool that? So wait, we already have an electrical problem. We don't have enough power to power the GPUs.
Right.
Well, then you just bring in gas generators like
methane.
X is doing in Tennessee. Is all the data centers are powered by huge, portable, noisy, polluting
natural
gas generators.
Yeah, because they just don't have the power.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a huge methane. It's natural gas, right?
See, that's the thing. I read so much, and it's so impossible to keep up with everything.
So like I agree. I fully agree. When you said like, hey, he does this, and this, like my wife is like, what do you like? Why are you up until 1 a.m. every night?
Right.
And I'm up at 6:30, 7 o'clock to get my, daughter ready for school and kids, daughters. And I realized this maybe a couple weeks, like I have major FOMO. I never really have felt that way in my career. And it's not a fear of missing out on like the next big thing. It's just everything, literally everything. And
because you're going to sit with another technologist or another nerd, and they're going to say, "Oh my God, have you
done this?"
And you're going to go, "What is that?"
But I've never, like, that's always been, and you've talked about this on some of the past shows, or probably every show, but like that really hasn't changed, right? You know, what's the term for the new LLM? It's a macro, right?
Oh God.
You've used that, right?
Yeah,
I agree. Like macros were cool, then scripts, and now automation, right? And now it's LLMs. So it's anyway, so we're just kind of in an interesting place with, are these data centers real? Is this a bubble? Like what if this does pop, nothing comes of it? And 2 of the 3, big ones here in the States just fold, right?
Well, I mean, I think that's the thing, like
all that demand, poof.
When all those companies that didn't own anything were worth more than the companies that they replaced, when Uber and Airbnb and all those. And now we're looking at this next generation of these OpenAIs, Anthropics, and and they're being pushed up and
pumped big time,
right? And OpenAI, to be like an enterprise sales rep there, they were selling. I don't know if it's changed. You were going out and selling $20 licenses to big companies.
Yes, user licenses,
and people are like,
just get 10 grand.
That was like the next big thing for like the rep level. You know, like when you work for Cisco and you work for Pure, then you work for and you work for one of the clouds, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, my next thing is this. And then you're like, I'm back to selling effing dial-up. I'm selling $20 dial-up
subscriptions,
right?
Yeah,
right,
for individual users.
And I'm like,
selling Office,
and you think it's like the hottest thing in the world.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh my God, that's how much dial-up was.
So I fully, I agree. It's
I want to sell a T1. I don't want to sell a dial-up.
I need high speed. At the end of the day, people could be listening, or like even like in this room, like, well, okay, so what is it going to do for me? That's a question each and every one, you as a person. I know you're like, hey, this email was drafted by a human.
Yeah.
Every business owner has to figure out. I forget if it was Cuban or Mark Andreessen or one of them said, this was maybe 3, 4, 5 months ago, that we're days or weeks away from the first $1 billion one-person company. I looked today, there's 5.
There's $5 billion
plus companies,
one-person companies.
Founder only, using generative AI.
Selling donuts? What are they doing?
Well, so you have a lot of VC fudging going on there.
Sure.
It valued at one over $1 billion. But
are they like Shark Tank pre-revenue, or like are these actually like
they're viable products, right? So it's happening. How they figured it out, I wish I knew, right? I want to be the 6th, but it's happening. And to do that before was impossible.
Are they products, services?
Services. I forget exactly what all they are. I'm like, are there, I heard about this. Are there any products or companies that are $1 billion single person companies? And there were 5. One just eclipsed like last week, the 1.8 billion. So it went from like nothing to 1.8 billion. It's almost a $2 billion company. Single dude. I mean, it's nuts. That is impossible. Was impossible prior to
you go on YouTube,
air quotes AI.
And you go on YouTube and they want to get everyone to start washing trash cans as the next big thing,
Yeah, you have to buy that truck, loads 2 of your trash cans on the back. Yeah.
And they're running the whole business by themselves, or they're like outsourcing finance or AI or...
This is probably where it gets to the funny of VC, right? Yeah, it probably started off as a single person. They launched a service or product, went to go get some private equity or VC money. And now they're going to say, hey, you need like 6 people, actual people. But the point is, could I even go pitch $1 billion product 5 years ago, right? Pre-COVID or even just post-COVID, before AI?
You could pitch it, they wouldn't listen.
It didn't exist. You would just have like a piece of paper with some sketches.
Right.
Today, Claude Cowork can do that in 5-10 minutes, provide you all your entire user story, the entire financial side of it, everything end to end, in just minutes. The paradigm shift is here. That's what I'm trying to, I guess, communicate here. It's like we're here. It's just how do we all want to use it every day?
So I think the whole thing is like growing up in consulting and I think whatnot. It's what problem can I help you solve?
Yes.
And the ones that are really good find the problem what people don't know. And I think that, or I see that these are problems that Randy and I and don't know we have until someone throws it on a television screen going, hey, this new Ron Popeil.ai Juice Master 3000, now you can,
buys your fruit, peels your fruit, drops it in, and it just spits out.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah.
I didn't know I needed that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big issue too, is findability. Like there's so much noise out there now that like the marketers almost now have to put up the billboard.
Yeah.
And there's 13 billion billboards potentially from every startup that the 3,700 startups that started last hour.
So I virtually knock on doors now. Not as a part of my day job, as a part of my 5th day job. And I do cold calls or cold emails. And I say, I will come solve your problem for free. And that's how that vision system started, and many others. Like, I will show you in a meeting, I will solve your problem. For me personally, so it's like, how do you figure out where that problem is? I don't know. Every business is different. The tool and die guy could be like, hey, I get all this cool data off of my CNC machines.
Yeah.
I don't use it. I don't even know what it means. But I can tell you when a bearing goes, it's $6,000.
Right.
And my tool and die guy he should be able to hear that.
And it might be 2 days.
But guess what? I can tell you that data's on that machine. It knows that there's a RPM variance. You can literally map it. So we're at 8,000, 8,000, 8,000, 7,900. Well, the bearing doesn't go until about 7,400 RPM. I'm just making this up.
Sure.
And we could graph that. Hey, why don't we pull this every day? And when we get to 7,900, we submit a ticket to, such and such company to come fix this. That just saved you $5,000. So it's things like that. And when we talk AI or agentic,
like the one,
it'd be automating that whole process from pulling the data, ordering the bearing, and calling service.
the one like last week when we were talking to Rayfield, we didn't even think it was a problem.
OT, yeah.
Well, the big, like we're talking now about when their shift change, it takes like a half an hour.
Yes.
And what happens if the new manager can just sit on the floor and have a full report of everything that happened, quality issues, production statistics, and can actually just start minute one and go from if you think about it now, every day you have 3 shift changes if you're lucky enough as a company, and that's an hour and a half. I mean, anytime you can shave anytime.
Seconds.
Right.
Seconds is in some plants a minute is $1 million.
Right.
Depending on the plant. Yeah.
Sure.
It's amazing. But it's just,
but it's figuring that out. If they don't know it's possible. I think that's the question, to the $1 million question. Sorry for the bad pun, but knowing what is possible. Again, with an empty prompt, you're kind of just like,
what do I do?
Firing in the air. And just,
the best thing everyone can do, and I pushed you at lunch, ask it questions. Like, use it and ask it questions.
It's unnatural. It still feels weird.
I ask it questions more than I tell it. Like, there's no
telling it what to do doesn't feel weird.
There's no goal.
Asking it questions feels weird. Telling it what to do does not feel weird.
But I use this analogy. So in front of you, you have a astrophysicist. You have knowledge and power. People are like, what does that even mean? So I didn't talk about this. You have an astrophysicist. You have a multidisciplinary medical doctor, and you have a geologist, whatever, right? And would you go to that doctor and say, "Hey, doc, do surgery on my knee. My knee hurts." That seems foreign, right? Right? You would go to the doctor who is he's a board certified surgeon. He's a board certified, this and that. And you would say, "Hey, doc, my knee hurts. What's wrong? Can you take a look at it?" And he'd be like, "Sure, let me take a look at it. Can you do this, 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 and this?" You didn't even think about the 2 things, right? Can you move it this way or move it that way? Poke here, poke there. Because the knowledge and labor is in that doctor. Same thing with astrophysicists. You wouldn't tell them like, "Oh, hey, I need to get to Mars," or how does E equals MC, like how does that, like I'll tell you how that works. like, hey, how does astrophysics, what do you do? Like, how does that work? You would ask it in the form of a question. That's how you have to use an LLM.
See,
That's how you need to use
We were
it.
trained initially when they came out that they hallucinate.
I was going to say, can you still trust everything they say?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like,
And if not, how do you verify or
The knee doctor, I'm going to trust because he's got the letters after his name.
Well,
but like when you're talking to that,
is medical malpractice not a thing?
it's totally.
They make mistakes, right? So like it's up to us to decide like what is real. But I can tell you, you have all those three humans plus, or those plus a whole table around you. Like it's like the command room at the White House. You have everyone around you and you can go ask them questions versus tell them what to do.
But for example, like you find a doctor, they do something wrong, you go to a different doctor. Soccer mom, the AI tells her to go to the soccer field across town instead of the one she was supposed to go to. She's not going to go find a different AI tool. She's going to stop using AI completely.
Yes.
Or a restaurant owner,
Yes.
trusts AI to generate his sales orders and orders 10,000 pounds of butter when he meant to order 100 pounds of butter. Like,
Yes.
he's going to stop using AI. Where are you going to store it? How are you going to use it before it goes bad, et cetera? Like,
You have to,
they're not going to use a different
clarify
system.
it.
They're going to stop
Mistake.
using
Yes.
any tools altogether. So
agree. There is risk. And again, maybe it goes back to what we were talking earlier. It's just there's an adoption period right now, and it's not mass market, right? We're still at the tech heads. Like Amazon Quick came out. I use it every day in my kind of just day to day. It's pretty cool. It does a lot of cool things. It all the correlation. I can be like, hey, what have I done with Randy? It'll tell me you've done this, and this. What have I done with Bob? Hey, can you draft an email to both of them to introduce me to to such and such over here? Based on some data, it'll go search the internet. So like we're very early on the personal assistant side. Now, if we could shift gears just quickly, there's the whole dev side, right? If you want to like geek out, like I need to go build an app. Like we were talking that WordPress, I need to go build this. You can just say, hey, I need this, and this. Can you go build this? I always end those types of prompts. Again, so you're using a harness. You're using Claude Code. It's a harness. It's a coding harness. You're using Codex, which is ChatGPT, coding harness. I would say, hey, I need to go build this WordPress plugin that's going to do this, and this. Any questions? Question mark. Any thoughts? Question mark. So do you have questions? And then anything I'm missing, and you will be shocked how often it comes back with like, have you thought about this, or this, right? Think of these other things. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And here, so the problem I've run into using these, they call, again, harnesses is I will spend, and it's just like, my wife's like, what are you doing? Are you like on OnlyFans? She doesn't say that, but like, I know she's like, what are you doing? Like,
it's the meme. I wonder, he's probably thinking about other women. And
I'm
it's
in
like,
bed.
and it's a Star Wars.
Motorcycles and, whatever. That's me. So I'm upstairs literally like in my office until 1 or 2 in the morning. And this was the last 6 months of my life. Not every night, but pretty frequently, more than my wife would like. I'm up there and I'm talking to an agentic assistant that I say, hey, I want this thing to happen.
They made a movie about this with Joaquin Phoenix, by the way. What was it called, Randy?
was that her?
The AI girlfriend.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm being funny.
There's the one. It's a total tangent. There's also cyber. It's with. It was the Harrison Ford remake, Cyberpunk or whatever.
Oh, Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Thank you, Blade Runner with the girlfriend.
Oh yeah, totally.
With the virtual girlfriend. And that like ripped my heart out. I didn't watch the original one, or I did maybe 20 years ago. I forgot, but like, man, like you had to hit the reset button on her. Anyways, so there's like chatbot, right? So let's go back to your chatbot, Super Google.
Yeah,
that was for development 2 years ago. Then these harnesses came out, agentic harnesses, where you say, I need to go do this, and it'll actually go do research on the internet. It'll search your code base. It'll create the solution. It'll test the solution, and now you're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth through that iterative process. One person develop that WordPress plugin, right? But you're doing it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I have so many projects, like think of like an enterprise. You have thousands and thousands of applications that I have like Codex open here, and I have Claude open here, and Quen here with the Alibaba's. And I'm talking to all of them building various products, fixing bugs, adding features. And I'm like going nuts. I'm like, this is terrible. So I did research, like, are there any CI tools, continuous integration tools that leverage an LLM? And there's really no main ones. And this isn't like something I'm going to sell, but I built a CI, like essentially an LLM CI tool where I just go and create a Git issue, what is it? Atlassian's, everyone uses Atlassian, Jira, right? So all the features and bugs, and you have your Kanban board. Typically a team of, the two pizza team, a team of 10 people would go and like work on that one feature for 2 weeks for a sprint and develop that one feature for 2 weeks. I now, like, I can have some, like, if you had one of my products, there'd be a little button up there that says, hey, submit question or bug or issue. It would use an LLM to translate what you said based on some feedback, right? Some bugs or some logs in the back end, log it in my GitHub private, right? Back end. And then I have an entire pipeline that uses LLMs for security. Well, it does the whole specking of that bug or feature. And there's approvals, and essentially what I'm getting here is I'm stepping back from typing until 2 a.m. Like, hey, I need to add this. I need to change this. Hey, can you update this? Hey, this looks good, but can you reformat it from a switch, from a checkbox to a toggle? And waiting to now, I just go to just a new issue. It's literally called new issue. And I say, hey, I want to go do this, and this. I select my repo. I select my product. And it does the entire pipeline end to end. And if it succeeded, it passes. And here's, like, we go back to data centers. I'm sure you've heard of, like, Opus.
Sure.
Not Opus One.
Yeah, no.
Not the wine and not the editing suite, but just Claude Opus.
Yes.
Right. So it's like, is it $25 or something for 1 million tokens? Which is like, that's the currency, the LM currency. It's outrageously expensive. And like enterprise just want to throw like, the people working for them just want to throw like the biggest and best model. ChatGPT 5 extra high, Claude Opus. They're great models. They are the multidisciplinary PhDs that I was talking about. But for that personal assistant, you don't need that PhD all the time, right? You just need someone that's quick and snappy. So I'm paying all that development that I was telling you about. Like, I don't need Claude Opus to go create like the triage. Hey, is this like a vibe code session, or do we need to spec this? Meaning, like, do we need some requirements? Right. That's just a cheap model. It's like fractions of a penny. Anyways, there's a whole model selection process there for each stage. And it's simplified. Like, I'm still not going to bed earlier, but it's taken one more thing off of my plate of just watching the zeros and ones tick on the screen. To now,
the little Fraggle Rock guys to carry over from last week.
Yeah. It's simplified. And this is, so when we talk like agentic and agentic development, so there's like the whole agent stuff, call centers and order me my bearing automatically. But then there's the development side. But
then going back to what Randy was saying too, like now you have to know to cipher who's good at, because again, we did it all in trial and error. Everybody just went to ChatGPT, but now you're like, oh, Claude's better at this. This is better at that. This is better than that. Well, we're that now, like almost like you need to put out a scorecard
for a business owner. So, we're kind of conflating and blending a lot of lines here. For a business owner, like Randy, your point, it's so far.
But how many tools are out? Let's say how many tools are out today?
Oh,
how many companies? How many tools?
10. I mean, like 50? I use 6.
No, but is there 120
on the coding side of the house?
No, but you have like
or models.
OpenAI.
Oh yeah,
there's models.
I mean, there's probably 20 big players in the world.
Okay, so 20. Then they each have like 5 or 6.
Each have 2 to 10. Yeah, let's say 5 or 6.
But then again, how does like me?
Yeah, no.
What the hell am I supposed to know?
No,
because I'm going to use Opus. And now I'm paying a PhD to order a pizza on the weekend.
That's a great example. That is exactly what you don't want to do.
But how the hell am I supposed to know?
No, you wouldn't. Exactly. So like, again, we're early. It's an evolution. A year ago, I remember thinking or hearing like, oh, we're going to have these prompt engineers and they're going to be making like $500,000 a year because they're going to know how to prompt the LLM.
That lasted 2 weeks.
I was going to say 3 months. Yeah. I mean, by the time those recs opened, poof. Why? Because it moved. So like the idea that, well, I needed someone to know how to use that. I had to prompt it to do something, gone. This is just the next hurdle in how to actually leverage. They're called routers. They already exist, right? Route it to the right. Like I just said, I have
Cisco?
a triage. Exactly. Yeah. Cisco. Yeah. Cisco router.
Yeah.
It's an edge router.
Hey.
Yeah. So that'll come. Like the evolution is coming. It's just how quickly and really who's going to capitalize on it, both on the personal assistant side, but as well as the tech heads.
Well, then yet was it like Perplexity Computer came out for about a hot minute,
it was cool, and then
and now it's something else.
It just there's no meat behind. Like you have to know how to use a new operating system.
Well, Perplexity Computer was going to be the one I was going to pay $20 a month for.
Yeah, well, it was like 700, right, or 1,000 plus 20, right? Because you had to buy the hardware plus a subscription. No, but again, now you have to learn a new operating system. You have to integrate it into like your. That's where Apple, like they have a great ecosystem. You have to integrate it into your Apple, your Android ecosystem, right? Like just it's same with OpenClaw. Like there's no, for the techies, it's great. But for the common person, it's not there yet. Right. But it will be. Like we'll have lunch in a year or something. I'll be like, Bob, remember a year ago when I said, like,
yeah.
And you'll be like, dang it. Like it's on my phone. I hate that it's on my phone.
But you say, when you said FOMO, it triggered something too, because it's like
major,
this race that we all have that we, and I'm like, oh my God, you haven't heard about this? Oh my God, you haven't heard. But then when you do that, now you're like just Perplexity Computer. When was I talking about that? 3 weeks ago? And now it's gone.
Something like that.
Not that it's gone, but it's
just, there's nothing around it. There's no meat behind it, right? Yeah.
Where I'm like, that was the one. And now I'm looking at Claude Cowork seems like to be the one. I use a different tool for day job, you know what I mean? And I kind of like it.
Cowork is
but you don't want to pay for something for personal that you get at work. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
You're just this dichotomy of, well, I already get this at work, but you don't use it for personal at work.
You can't. I mean, you can, but
it's locked down.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what we did it last week, or what? Like, we have lunch in a year. What are we talking about?
Oh, I don't know. I
don't mean to throw you something ridiculous.
Yeah.
These are fun.
No, I think he answered the same way I did. He was kind of like, oh. I mean, I think it's going to be a slow. There's a lot of fear, right? And I think the fear is well founded. There's a lot of change right now in the environment.
Yeah.
I don't think like the, Tom or Timmy or Sally or Joe at the the receptionist or the person taking parts orders, like those jobs will still exist. It's just they probably won't hire for that type of a job again, right? Like if they can just bring in a service and Tom and Sally can just go do something else.
Well, all the things that I'm saying, I wonder if they're dated like soft skills are the new hard skills. And I'm like,
like I don't see sales going away. Tech sales, same thing. Like to your point and to Randy's point, he's saying like, hey, Adam, like you're talking about all this cool stuff, but like who's going to teach me?
Yeah.
That's my job. Literally, that is like what I do during the day is I try to enable customers like that. Obviously I don't do a good job.
Yeah, but you're in the top 0.001% of clients.
I'm just one person.
No, but I'm just saying like you're not calling on, my cousin's tool and die shop. Nobody is.
In my personal life, I could.
No, but like I'm talking all the tech companies.
Yeah.
Like, nobody calls on these.
No, absolutely not. No, and if he does have an AWS account, they're going to look at it and be like, who are you? You're going to spend $1,000 a month,
right?
Drop in the bucket.
But for
not
them,
even a drop.
But for them, that's massive.
It's huge. Oh, absolutely. And it could be transformational for them. That's the kind of the paradigm shift is, you're nobody, but also like that small investment in your business could be different. So anyway, so back, like, where are we in a year? I don't think really much has changed. I think maybe we have an app or two on our phones that we don't have today. But I personally, I feel that we'll continue to see layoffs, but it won't be because of AI. Wink, wink, wink. Like that is what all the CEOs say. When they have to get up, we made $50 billion this quarter. We're going to make more next quarter. And they laid off more people, but it's not because of AI. I think we'll continue to see those. And you mentioned like, a protest. I have a feeling it's not if, but when, people used to glue their hands to protest climate change or oil and gas, right? They'd glue or cement their hand or whatever to a road. I think it's just a matter of time before it's like a data center, right? Someone has cemented their hand or firebombed it, or I don't want to give people ideas, but like there'll be destruction. Like,
Right.
I mean, that stuff happens. Like, the Mona Lisa was, like.
Well, most of those things are planned. That not to hammer on the protest, but like a lot of those things are planned, and people get like speaking sheets. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like overnight, everyone's complaining about the same things. It's like, well,
They all have the same sign in 7 different cities.
right. Like, well, wait, who's who's trying to? Is it the trade unions coordinating? Like it was kind of like the scene from Clerks where the guy was like, "Oh, stop smoking."
Yeah.
And give me your credentials. He's like Chuli's gum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
like, and like who's behind this? It's like, oh, it's someone.
I just read an article. China is lobbying and paying NGOs here, supposedly, to block data centers because they're building them like bonkers over there, right? So people are like, wait, where's all this money coming from? And they're looking at
That's a great
IRS.
That's as good a conspiracy theory as my new favorite one, Randy. That guy, it's actually true, but it's a conspiracy. I'll call it a conspiracy theory. That Guy Fieri didn't actually eat on diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Oh, I saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
If you see it chopsticks, but like
ghost chopsticks, and then he has like fake food in his mouth. But then if you look, he never swallowed. They always pan. Like, so when he takes a bite,
You always bite it.
but then something like I read somewhere he admitted it. He goes, I can't eat all day. I'd be 380.
yeah, they got to take multiple takes of the same scene, and
Right.
you know.
So yeah, I thought that was funny because it's just stupid shit I didn't need to know.
Yes. So yeah, conspiracy theory, maybe not. But that there's money coming in to protest US-based data centers.
So it's a country battle. That's funny.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like on the, I think we briefly talked about this. When I walked in, the next, the next generation of models, they're getting so powerful. It means the previous generations are essentially obsolete. What I mean by that is, like, I run just in like a little $2,000 mini PC. It's literally a mini PC, like no smaller than a couple bottles of water. I run an extremely capable model at home because that whole pipeline I was telling you about, that costs money to run, right? I can now run like a ChatGPT 5-ish, 5+ at home. 5 is like, that was just a few months ago. It's that knowledgeable, and I can run it on a $2,000 piece of hardware. Now, is it fast? No, it's like 50 to 60 tokens per second, which again, like that's China, it's another language to some people, but that's plenty fast for coding, like offhands coding, like I was telling you about.
What was the thing I read about where the agent was going out and mining Bitcoin on its own?
Stop it.
Oh, geez.
I'll have to Google it in the car. Like just something I was flashing through 100 articles, and I think that was one of them.
That's insane.
Yeah. But
Well, where's that money going? Like, if you're mining Bitcoin, who are you giving it to? Who owns the agent? Anyway.
itself, yeah. But it's just it's a interesting paradigm of where these data centers are going, the power behind them. Do we even need it as these models get more advanced? NVIDIA supposedly is coming out with a chip that runs at like room temperature. So it's just, imagine that you're going to bankrupt DTE overnight.
Wasn't there
betting.
Google was supposed to have, do you remember this story where there were like floppy disks and there were like battery arrays, and it was supposed to like revolutionize power in these data centers. And I'm talking, this is 12, 15 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
And like, well, that didn't go anywhere, or at least like maybe it wasn't economically feasible. I don't know. You see these like, hey, this new technology is coming out, then it's dead, and you don't know if someone's thwarted it or, you know what I mean? Like what it takes to power these things. And, again, what, Moore's law is that, I mean, that's out of the window right now.
Yeah, I think that's
Moore's law is we're on hockey stick now.
Yeah, it's been gone for probably 5-ish years, 5-6 years. Like what is it? 2x every 2 years.
For HP, that was the big one. Hey,
it was true.
The 8x chip is out now, or the server or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a huge deal because it cuts your data center space in half and doubles
it's
your capacity.
Twice the speed.
Yeah. Now we're
now it's all about memory bandwidth and all this other stuff. It's just probably far too techy for the time we have, the short time we have left.
That's fair. Well, hey, it's always good seeing you. Appreciate the insights. This is I think it's funny as we think these conversations are going to stay the same. They change every week, or they change every 2-3 weeks.
Hopefully for the better.
No, they're consistently for the better.
Mm-hmm.
As this is, as these things progress and things start coming to light, and people are trying and doing, like, just to ask,
please.
like, just to, like, the mic drop is like, just to ask, am I missing something? Like, that was not programmed in my mind to do that yesterday, because I'm still kind of in that tell it to do something. And again, a lot of it is this, like Randy kind of said earlier, the once this thing screws up for me, I'm kind of like, all right, I'm on to the next, because I don't trust it anymore. And I think as this thing changes, it's like almost you have to rebuild this. It's a very strange place to be.
It's a very strange place to be. So, like, where will be in a year? I have no idea. Like, we're in such just
the burger and the beer are going to be the same. I can guarantee you that.
The burger was delicious.
Are you sure it's not going to be an AI optimized burger and a AI beer recipe?
No, it's going to be the fake meat, because we're all allergic to meat because of the Bill Gates ticks. I just went there.
Another conspiracy theory.
On that note, we're going to wrap things up for this episode of the IT and the D Show. On behalf of Bob and Randy, do us all a favor. Drink up your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. See you next week. Drive careful. Beat it.